Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to my series. I'm going to call this one Bum Botter to Bot Farm, and this is episode 1. So, I guess an intro to my entire, idea for this series is that I recently got into botting on old school RuneScape, and I know a lot of people hate that shit, and it's against the rules, but whatever. And I I got into botting, and I wanted to kind of do a series where I make pretty much everything, mostly everything from scratch in terms of like writing my scripts, and then try to expand until I can have a full bot farm going with possibly even making like real money off of it by selling all that gold off. So I'm gonna try and go through pretty much every step of the process from making an account to starting it out and then to what I do. I'm not going to show everything because obviously there's things you don't want to show that could compromise your farm or whatever you're trying to do. And I also want to preface this and say I am by no means an expert on any of these subjects. I'm very new to the scene. I've probably only been like attempting any of this for about a month now. So take everything I say with a grain of salt. Okay, so the first thing you have to do obviously is creating an account. And when I create my new accounts, I know that my home IP has already been burned because I've had accounts get banned for botting on my home IP. So I buy a proxy, which I'm not going to show y'all where to do that because I want to keep my proxies good and secure or whatever. But I get a proxy and I go on Firefox for no particular reason, and I have this extension called Foxy Proxy, and I put all the proxy information into there, and I start it up, which you just go in here and you click your proxy. And if you want to do an extra check, you can just look up your IP on Google, and if it matches the proxy, you're good. So once you have that set up, we go we go to okay, maybe not jagex. Let's see. I don't know why jagex has so many fucking web pages, but I literally forget where to make an account every single time. Okay, I think it's through here. Alright, so we cut forward a little bit, and this is where you make your account, obviously. Um, I'm going to blur everything out here. I guess I don't really need to tell y'all that because it's going to be blurred out. You make your account, whatever, put in some random bullshit. Continue. Go. Actually, I'm just going to cut all this out because it's all going to be information I don't want to show anyways, but I'll get back to y'all once the account is done being made. Alright, so we have our account created, and I'm going to switch y'all over to my bot client. Alright, so here we are on the little Dreambot launcher. As for why I use Dreambot specifically, I don't really have anything to say for that. It was honestly one of the first names that I heard. I went to it, and it was relatively easy to make my own scripts and like execute them through here. And I haven't had any problems with it so far, so I'd say it's pretty good. In comparison to other ones, I'm not really sure. But so as you can see on the little launcher, actually you won't be able to see this, but there's going to be a little drop down in which you can input your proxies. So if you're using proxies, do that obviously. And then we're just going to click launch client. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Full screen it. Alright, so here we are. Alright, so we're on Tutorial Island now. So most people, when they're actually creating huge farms and like suicide botting, obviously they could give less of a fuck what the name is that they're putting in, but I kind of like to personalize my bots. Obviously, y'all won't be able to see that, but I like to choose pretty cool usernames, unique to all of them. That also might help with ban rates, but I genuinely have no idea. As I said earlier, I'm not the most experienced at this. Do whatever the fuck you want here. I usually try to make something, again, kind of unique for each bot. I kind of enjoy doing it. So we'll make our little character here, and then I'll cut back to y'all. All right, so we got our character here, and whenever I do Tutorial Island, I do it legit. Because that's the advice I've heard from other people who are more experienced than me. I don't think what you select here matters, but I just say experienced player. But yeah, I do my tutorial islands manually because you don't really want your bot getting flagged as soon as you get out of tutorial island. But if you're at the point where you're making hundreds of accounts or like tens of accounts, like 50, 30, obviously you're probably going to automate this because no one wants to run tutorial island 30 times, even if they're doing it on all 30 accounts at once. But yeah, but since I'm going to be making a pretty small farm, I don't see any reason I can't just do it on my own. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know what the fuck. Okay. Yeah. I'm probably just going to speed all this up. Alright, so here we are in Lumbridge. So, what I usually like to do when I start an account out, I'm just going to go and bank all this shit, just so it's not killing my run energy. But what I usually like to do when I start with free to play is I just go. I usually stay in free to play for a day or two, which some might disagree on because free to play accounts are very much watched more and are just at risk of getting banned in general. The risk is just like a lot higher. So bonding a new account might definitely help with that. I'm not completely sure, but it seems like that's the general consensus. But I just keep mine free to play for a little bit, and then if they get banned, I'm not losing shit. So I just let them do random various tasks, be it like wood cutting, fire making, or usually you combine those if you're just starting. Killing cows, getting combat up, fishing for sure. Pretty much like any free to play skill that if you want to train it, like go for it. Just get some stats on the account at first, and then if it is looking good and it's not getting banned, then maybe you can think about bonding it or getting more ambitious with whatever you want to do with the account. But one of the first scripts I ever made was I called it the industrial farmer. So basically, what this bot does is it kills cows, and I tried to make it pretty much like self-sustaining, because I'm not going to be able to go to the GE and just buy food for however fucking long, 20-hour playtime minimum, and then you have to get the 10 quest points, whatever. So I have it kill the cows. If it gets low, it'll pick up meat, go chop a tree, light the log, cook the food, eat the food. So if you're doing all of this, you're getting combat experience, you're getting wood cutting experience, you're getting fire making, you're getting cooking. So that's already pretty good. Obviously, you're mainly only getting like combat experience. Everything else will be somewhat negligible because you're barely doing any of that except for when you need to eat. But I thought it was a nice script to start out with. That's what everyone kind of does when they first get in the game. They go and kill cows. So, yeah, I'm gonna let this run for a little bit. I might just speed up the video and let it play for a bit, let y'all watch. Alright, so I'm sure y'all get the gist from that little clip. Did pretty much everything it'll ever do. Um, as you can see, it's definitely not the most optimized script. It was one of the first ones I ever made, so obviously, like how it went to grab the meat individually instead of like grabbing three or four, just so if a bunch of them burn, it'll still have more to cook, whatever, whatever. Yeah, waste some time. Who really cares? It's not like it's gonna be sitting here killing cows for its entire lifetime. So one of the other activities I like to get it to do is get its early fishing levels up. So you can just take it down here to Lumbridge. Honestly, if you write your script correctly, you can just get it to where it'll just walk down here automatically. But again, I wrote all these scripts at the very beginning of my experience with this, so they're kind of meh, but they work, and I don't mind taking the 20 seconds to run it over here. It's not a big deal. Okay, I think I named this one, yeah, shrimp cock. Oh, okay, I might definitely be the wrong one. Yeah, net fishing. Okay, shrimp cock was that one originally, but I made that one into a 3-tick fly fisher and just took the base code for the net fishing and made it into a new script. Uh, so obviously I wrote all these scripts and they're not the greatest, and a lot of the paid scripts you'll find on Dreambot, they're like genuinely amazing. Like I don't understand how these people are able to code this shit, and it's like actually beautiful. But they'll get it to where, bro, there's scripts that will make an entire account for you, and all you have to do is click to start it. Like it's wild. But like specialized fishing scripts will like they'll come do this until they're level whatever, and then they'll go get all the shit they need to do for the next best fishing method, and it'll go there automatically until you're 99 basically if your bot ends up running that long. Which honestly, that wouldn't if you get a bit of experience with the Dreambot API, that's not horribly hard to do. And I think honestly anyone, even if you have no previous coding knowledge, there's tutorials on Dreambot, which I will show in a second, and AI is obviously a huge help. Don't take it for like the best advice ever, but when you're a completely new coder, being able to just like ask ChatGPT like sorry about that, that was my phone. ChatGPT some like base level questions, that's extremely helpful. And that was how I learned a lot of things with this, along with going through the Java docs, which is basically, I will also show that later. It's basically just like an archive of pretty much everything within the Dreambot API that you can use to make your scripts, and it's extremely helpful. So, again, I'm just going to let this run for a little bit. Y'all can watch it. I'll probably, yeah, I'll actually just run it while I do a couple other parts of the video, and then we can check back on it. So I'm going to switch y'all over to the tutorials that Dreambot has and yeah, all that good stuff. Alright, so here we are on the Dreambot website. This is where you download any of this shit. Once again, this is not at all sponsored. No one has paid me to show this. It's literally just the one I've used, and I feel like I should, not that I should be providing an exact tutorial on how to do everything, but I don't mind, I guess, helping others a little bit with getting into this because I think it's really cool, regardless of how much people hate it or it's against the rules, and I acknowledge that it's understandable, but I think it's not only something you can very much learn from, get all this coding experience, but if you're able to, like, shit, man, there's people who make so much money off of this. So it's like it's a cool side project, and that's kind of the whole reason I got into this. But you want to go up to guides there, and let me X those out real quick. Okay, this will get you started with like everything you need to do to actually get Dreambot. I'm not going to go through this. It should be pretty self-explanatory. But where you're really going to get started here is the scripter guide. All these tutorials, they'll help you get your They'll help you download Java, obviously, because RuneScape runs on Java. So we're scripting in Java, so you need to have Java on your PC. And then your IDE, your development environment. This is very important. This is where you're gonna well, if you're writing scripts, but this is where you're gonna write all your scripts in, and it makes it so much easier because it's built for you to code Java. So there's all this helpful shit that you can use to write all your scripts, whatever, whatever. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, it tells you exactly what to do. If you follow it to the dot, you'll be perfect. And if anyone has some like crazy problems, leave something in the comments. Maybe I can get back to you. I don't know everything, but I might be able to help. Also, they recommend to use IntelliJ IDEA. That's what I use. It's amazing. And one other thing is that if you're in college like me, you're a college student, and if you have a student email that's related to that college, you can get like a free year subscription for IntelliJ. You can already get a 30-day trial just like off the rip, but if you have that college email, you can get a year free. And this is like a $500 a year software. So that's like a no-brainer. So if you can do that, fucking do it, dude. Go crazy. Yeah, whatever. Running your first script, it kind of goes through everything you need to do because they have their own, I guess, structure you need to have so that your scripts are actually able to run in Dreambot. But all of this is pretty easy to do. You kind of just follow what they say. And then the uploading section teaches you how to upload it, or actually upload it to Dreambot. And then we have these other guides. They show you a lot of the API that you're going to be using in many of your scripts. Pretty simple stuff. Changing worlds, picking shit up, dropping shit, the Grand Exchange, which I have yet to tinker with, but I really need to, especially for the end goal of this bot farm, which I don't know if I'm going to get into that now, but I might later. Yeah, buying and selling stuff, attacking, interacting, widgets, which is basically like, say when you're going to smith, and it pops up with that window with all the bullshit, and you select what you want to smith or whatever. Those are all individual widgets. So if you want to make a script like that, where you need to interact with things like that, this is how you do it. And then this is what I found most useful, is it goes through how they make a basic woodcutting script. And you definitely should not follow this, like you shouldn't just copy this script and start using it, because I bet you so many people have done that and your ass is going to get banned. But use the basic principles that you can learn from this to kind of make your own thing. Like what I would do is I combined wood cutting with fire making. So it would chop trees. When I had a full inventory, it would burn them all. And then later on, I did the thing with the industrial farmer script where it would kill cows and do that, and do a little bit of cooking. You know, just mix it up, have some uniqueness to your scripts, implement a lot of randomness. Well, I'm speaking out of my ass, but this is like the general consensus. As much if you can get your script to act like a human and be as random as a human as you can, that's perfect. But yeah, it goes through all of this shit. It's pretty easy to understand. If you don't understand anything, they have a Discord, or an educational Discord, where you can ask questions, do all that shit. You can ask ChatGPT. You could ask me. Whatever. This is how I got started. And the next thing I want to show y'all is I'm going to go through some of that code for that industrial farmer script that I showed y'all earlier. I just wanted to pop in here and say I did not end up including this because I gave a horrible explanation that probably wouldn't have been helpful to anyone. But if y'all are ever interested in seeing me explain some of the scripts I write in depth and actually going through the code, let me know in the comments and I'll totally include that in the next videos, and I'll actually make it somewhat comprehensible and in a way that would be helpful. So yeah. So we can see it's been fishing. It's only gained 540 XP, which if anyone has net fished in free to play, you will realize how fucking slow it is. I guess I wish I could show y'all more gains, since it's like the first video. I'm supposed to be going crazy, but fishing is kind of slow like that. I could go throw it on wood cutting and burning the logs and shit, and that would give you a lot more gains level wise. But who really cares? Um, so yeah, I'm probably gonna. I might get a little more footage for this. Just throwing a couple things the bot be doing. But besides that, that is pretty much all, guys. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I also wanted to say, which is probably obvious at this point, but I just wanted to say that I have like 3 other accounts going. Like, I'm not completely new to this. This isn't like the first account I've ever done, and y'all are gonna watch me completely make this bot farm from start to finish. No, I've already started. Just to be transparent about that. I might show those other accounts later, but I'm going to let them do their thing for now. And this account is going to go through the same process anyways, so yeah. And then one more thing, I got this idea from another guy on YouTube. I'm going to link that video and his channel in the description, but basically he was going to do a level 3 to max, writing all my own scripts, and I thought that was a really cool idea, and he never continued it, so I wanted to see if I could try it myself. And yeah, that was a big inspiration for this, so I just want to thank him. So thank you guys for watching.